Don't know nothing about that, do you?
No, I don't.
That was Magic Star.
Magic Star.
Mazzy Star. Fade Into You? You don't know that song?
No.
Fade.
No, I don't know.
It's an old night, man. Are you serious? Man, you listen to too much metal.
I don't shame you for not knowing songs.
You'd have to know this song.
No.
Man, Bumblefuck is going to be pissed.
You probably slowed it down.
No. It's like real slow and dreamy anyway.
Okay, well, I don't know it.
Well,
Get over it.
It's okay, babe.
Get over it.
It's okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great Measures. That's how you say it.
All right, I know this one's
England.
going to kind of rattle your cage a little bit because you haven't been a fan so far. But we're going to revisit Avenged Sevenfold. Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm going to do this is because the last few songs we've done, we did Gojira, The Art of Dying, we did Mudvayne Severed, even the Sleep Token, Take Me Back to Eden song. We kind of interpreted them as, discussing the shedding of self, mm-hmm. separating the ego from you, or from whatever, like enlightenment.
Okay.
So this album in particular is completely different than anything that they ever have done.
Right.
This album came out in June of 2023. This song is called Nobody. I'll give you a little bit of background.
Please do.
This is an article from Revolver. Shout out to Revolver.
Shout out to Revolver.
The sound of Avenged Sevenfold's long-awaited new album, the album's called Life Is But a Dream. Sorry about that. It was heavily influenced by drugs.
Oh, I'm down already.
In a new interview on their Tracks podcast, frontman M. Shadows revealed that many of the bold sonic leaps on the upcoming record were informed by he and guitarist Sinister Gates' recent experiences with the psychedelic drug 5-MeO-DMT, a cousin substance of the ego-destroying
Hell
DMT.
Yeah. Well, about that.
So here's the quote. Me and Sinister were exploring deeply in psychedelics throughout the last few years.
I should say so.
One of those things in particular was 5-MeO-DMT. I had a very tough experience in type A personality whose ego gets completely demolished. You see yourself leave your body, and we can get into that more, but one thing that I came out of that realizing was that life is so short. Don't put anything out unless it's bold, and bold was the word that we were using. Bold was like, don't just play within your genre.
Okay.
We'll do a lyric video for this one too, just because the lyrics are...
We'll see.
His voice is his voice, so try to shed your ego and look past that.
Shedding his ego didn't get him a new way of singing, did it?
No, but lyrically, this is a cool song, and it kind of ties in with some of the stuff we've talked about in our recent videos.
Okay.
Not that I'm an expert or we're experts on enlightenment and existentialism and...
No, but we are on DMT. Well...
We're not on DMT.
No, experts on. You said not that we're experts on this.
I got you. Okay. All right, before we start this, I don't want you to just focus on the lyrics because the riff is cool, the riff is huge, and the guitar solo is, of course, we've talked about Sinister Gates and his abilities, but it's really good. Proceed, Judson.
Riding
That's pretty cool.
So he's doing the guitar solo.
All right, lay it on us.
I don't know. What do you think?
First time I heard that song,
Yeah.
I thought, what in God's name is this? Mm-hmm. It grew on me, and it grew on me a lot, especially once I got the lyrical concept of it. And that solo is just, I mean, he's just, he's incredible.
He's a monster.
Yeah. You followed along with some of the lyrics. Did you take anything from it?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about the music first, or the song itself first?
Whatever. I mean, I like the it helps when you have a simple thing like that you kind of beat into your head. I don't know, even if it's something that I don't particularly like very much, or if I don't favor, I don't know, if it doesn't click, well, if it just doesn't hit me where I like it, I'll still dig it. You know what I mean? Like Queen does that, and We Will Rock You, like that whole.
Yeah.
So if you can, I like the. His voice didn't bug me as much.
Okay.
Sounded like he was, and I don't know much about this band. I've certainly taken a lot of hallucinogens, and it sounds like they're trying to pull off. It's not, so you have these experiences with hallucinogens,
Psychedelics.
and in the moment, you figured it all out. You've done much.
Not really.
At the moment, you figure it all out. I mean, you've got it together. You got it. You know the thing.
Right.
It's like a dream, It's like having a dream, and you know the dream, and then the further away you get from being awake, you lose the dream. So you tend to try to remember certain things, and some experiences are so profound you don't ever forget them. But still, there's a lot going on. Like, you hear sounds and stuff, and everything's somehow in rhythm, and everything comes together. So I kind of hear that, like with the whole nobody thing. You know how sometimes you'll have sometimes you'll be. I assume everybody does this.
Okay.
I don't know, but in little moments, like as you wake up and finding the leash to take your dog out, and in the moments that you tell your dog, let's go out, and you go over here and you try to find the leash, and if you're thinking hard on something, you could think about a million things. Like, you go down tons of avenues, and I mean crazy ones, things that lead to, and you have this, if you were to sit down and think on any one of those things, I mean, you're talking about 1,000 things go on in your mind in that one thought. And it's almost like and it all kind of explodes in this thing where you're like, oof.
Yeah.
But it all happens so quick. That happens over and over and over and over when you're tripping. And it's hard to maintain some of that stuff. I guess I'm more talking about a long-term, more long-term thing. DMT is a little shorter. It's a shorter, doesn't last as long as like LSD or mushrooms or something like that. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is you have these moments where it's like that in your mind, where all this is going on because your sensory perception is so open. And I'm not trying to explain the high on the drug. I'm just saying.
Sure.
And then everything will stop, and it goes to nobody, nothing, like this space sometimes. And those moments are the real crazy ones, which I used to, let's push the line as far as, because then you get to, and I'm going somewhere with this, then you get to where you totally, where whatever is you just totally doesn't make any sense anymore. where so it's an interesting thing to think about how human beings at one point were not aware, at least in the sense of doing this for any vain reason, reflective surfaces. Nobody necessarily knew what they looked like themselves. So there was a point in time where they can pinpoint, or that we could sit here and talk about how looking at oneself in a reflective surface, that was a big change in human evolution and, psychological evolution, where using reflective, and I think Narcissus has that whole thing, you know, and the whole theme of that and drowning and if you were to go through your whole life and never look at yourself, see what you look like, then you're only looking out. You know what I mean? So you don't have any sense of, you are nobody. You don't have any sense of who you are. You're not playing this movie in your mind with you as a character in it.
Sure.
And I think sometimes when you're involved, and you mentioned this because this is what they did. They took these alternate ways of thinking, substances that you tend, that's where anybody that you hear that has a profound experience in something like this, that's where they get to. They get to outside of their body. It's a no body situation. And outside of that, outside of your body, to you, because your perception is what you look like and how you view yourself, you become nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that can be a really healthy. I've never found it to be not productive in my way of thinking, unless you go so far as to go to I am nothing, I am no thing, because that's really, I mean, whether you're a part of or how you see yourself or as alone, you're still a thing. You're still, nothing is nothing. But nobody, it's a different story. So just musically, what I was trying to get at is saying nobody and letting up like that, it makes me think they were really trying to be conscious of all the things that they went through during these experiences and trying to transcribe them musically.
Sure.
So I can see that. I think I read an article about him. What's the lead singer's name again?
M Shadows.
Talking about how, or maybe it was, anyway, talking about how this next album was going to be one that people were like, what the hell?
Yeah, the rest of the album is, this song is not like any other song, and each song is not like the next. I mean, it is wild. But there's some really good stuff on there, too, that I want to show you.
Well, what do you hear in these? What part do you like lyrically that?
I mean, I think he pretty much like sewed everything together really well in the way he articulated certain lines and stuff. The pirouette with divinity in a dance we've shared before. Someone, dissolution. This is I am all as I am none.
I'm in everything or something. He said at one point.
Shedding weight as I'm coming undone. All that's left, converging as one. I don't know. I just think it's really cool, man.
Everybody can,
Again, like I said, I don't go too deep. Like, my mind just doesn't allow me to go to those depths. But
I don't know if that. I mean, I think it does. It's different. I think that one reason why. And to get into the whole recovery thing just for a second, whole reason I'm so grateful to have a drug history or have gone through a period of that, because you learn a lot.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, about yourself, about the world,
about other, like
about
a lot
everything.
a lot of like judging other people totally goes away when you're bad off on dope.
Yeah.
Because you are the reason that people judge anybody in your mind. So you learn not to. How can you judge anybody?
Right.
So there's a lot of things that you learn, and I'm so grateful for all that. But so you hear things like, you hear people saying we're all one. We're really all one. And people say those kinds of things, but there's a difference between kind of seeing it and saying, okay, well, we're all one because you may be scared of dogs and I'm scared of bears, but we both have fear.
Right.
And the fear is fear.
Sure.
So some people can identify with it a little bit, but to really feel what that means, I think takes a very profound experience in one way or another. And sometimes it has to be close to death or right after death or whatever, because it tends to make sense all of a sudden. Like you understand the feeling of it, but then all of a sudden there's also this idea of people that are not, they don't buy into that way of thinking. You don't feel like you're part of them in some sense. So it's this constant dance of trying to juggle. Yes, I understand what a oneness could mean, and even saying yes, I understand what a oneness could mean is outside of the oneness in a sense. But I think when you take some of these drugs, it makes your mind open up to whatever that is. You couldn't live in that state. I don't think anybody could live in a state of doing these hallucinogenic things, because it just gives you a little bit of taste of what that means.
Yeah.
And
you mean like a constant state of that?
Yeah.
Well, there's no, I mean,
well, I just mean like
to society standards, there's no functionality with that.
Well, there
you can't function.
Well, I think you could, but it wouldn't make any sense in the greater scheme of
that's
living
what.
in the
That's
world.
what I mean. Like function by whose standards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody has to be tripping. But then there's this idea, or there's this feeling that you get, and there's this idea that you're only getting a small taste of it. So even to go back to the recovery thing, because y'all share an experience, regardless of where you've come from, you're now here. If you're really doing the thing right, you're staying off, you don't want to die anymore, and you're trying to live, there's a oneness, right, in the room.
Yeah, there's a unity, for sure.
And it's an understanding. It's like, it's something that you can't articulate. It was explained in the action when you showed up and sat down next to somebody else that you didn't know, and I mean, it's a split-second deal, right? And that's kind of what I meant. Like when you have all these thoughts, and all these, how your mind just goes to, I mean, at the end when it all explodes and it just all kind of comes together for a second and then it goes away again. It's that split second of kind of oneness that I think I hear, at least, he's trying to convey in the song. But like I said, sometimes it can be a real difficult thing to try to get, because everybody's like, yeah, well, I understand, we're all one.
Right.
Really? No,
Right.
you have no idea what we're talking about. Like it's hard to because what we're talking about in that sense is no way there's no way to really talk about it and to explain it in words. Like, it's everything outside of natural explanation. It's all the feeling aspect. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think it's a valiant effort to try to convey those things in music, but it's a
tall task.
It's a tall task, but it's also almost a frivolous effort on a mass scale to get understanding of it from a mass audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like you just took me on a psychedelic trip.
My bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah, that's one I've been wanting you to hear for a while, and it just kind of tied into the last, 3 or so songs that we've done.
And you just want to sneak an Avenged Sevenfold on me.
Yeah, I just had to drop another one in there on you,
Oh, sorry, I ran my mouth too much, but
Maybe people can share their perspectives on psychedelics, and
yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, let me know I'm not alone.
All right, that was Avenged Sevenfold, Nobody, from 2023's Life is But a Dream. We are Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great Measures.
We hope everybody has an amazing day.